The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie Broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by WellMed. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello there. Good morning and welcome to our friends listening and our neighbors, by the way, listening in on this fabulous Florida Tuesday morning, May 25, 2039.
Minus
wait a minute.
718, right? Yeah, minus 18, 24.
Well, hey, everybody. This is Gary Owen. I'm your host.
And I'm your co-host, Tom Bouvier.
And we're bringing you live in the studio this morning the world famous, classy Quality of Life radio show. I think we're classy. Some people say we are.
Sassy is
fused. Like few of them say we're not. Yeah, we are a little sassy, aren't we, this morning?
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, Tom, you missed it this morning, not being in the office, because our friend from WellMed, Tanner, came by, brought us a box of donuts. And so, by the way, our show is sponsored by WellMed, so we appreciate their collaboration and sponsorship. And also United Healthcare and Lot Insurance Services. So those are our three esteemed sponsors.
Very esteemed.
Not steamed, esteemed. They're not vegetables, Tom. And by the way, we're streaming live on Facebook here in the WSTU studio. You can also catch us airing live simultaneously on WSTU 1450 AM and WPSL 1590 AM. But to catch us sexy hunks in here in the studio, you can go to www.wstutv.com. And you'll see Gary Owen, Tom the Bouvier, Joe Lott, Frankie Lott here in the studio. So feel free to turn your radio off. But if you turn your radio off, turn your internet on and catch us live in the studio. Tom and I are going to talk about some things that has happened to us this past week at Owen Insurance Group. We had some clients come in, and so what we like to do with our listening audience after we feature our guest on the show, the second half of the show, we like to kind of reveal some of the things that has happened to us, real live circumstances, so you can learn from some of the mistakes that they've had and learn from the experiences. So when it comes time for you to needing insurance, you know who to call and what to do. And who do they call?
Owen Insurance Group, 772-210-1020.
And Tom, why are we here?
Gary, we come here every Tuesday morning to bring relevant content to our listeners. I think sometimes we come here just to have fun, but and we do that. And we're also here to showcase and support local business owners who will be introduced here in a moment. And we love to educate and bring information about insurance planning, insurance options, so that people can improve their quality of life.
Yeah, it's really about transparency and insurance straight talk. So you know who to turn to. The one to turn to. It's not WPEC 12. It's Quality of Life Radio Show and Tom and Gary, Joe and Frankie here in the studio, WSTU Quality of Life Radio Shows. So hopefully, and WPSL. So for our listeners who are tuning in on WPSL, we appreciate that as well. So our mission, quite frankly, across the Treasure Coast, besides being beacons in the dark of the night, our mission is to simplify insurance planning. Why?
So people can enjoy a stress-free life.
Yeah. It's ridiculous to live life and have stress.
Exactly.
It happens, but if you come to Owen Insurance Group and Stewart, we alleviate the stress, like we helped this lady yesterday with her and her husband on her Medicare planning. She was ecstatic. So we're going to talk a little bit about that later on the second half of the show, how we help consumers, because it is complicated. It is confusing. Insurance products is sophisticated, and we're here to simplify insurance planning. So, all right. So, Tom, I know these are your brothers. So why don't you introduce our guest audience this morning? To our audience.
All right. I'm so proud and happy to have Joe and Frankie Lott of Lott Insurance Services here. And as Gary said, we're brothers, maybe brothers from a different mother, but we are Louisiana folks. They're from New Orleans area. I also was raised in Baton Rouge in New Orleans. So laissez les bon temps rouler.
Who dat?
Who dat? All right. So Joe and Frankie, thank you so much for coming on.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having us again. Good morning. Thank you guys very much.
So I know it's been a while since you've been on the show, but make sure that you get close to the mic so our audience can hear you. And then if you want to, people to see you, your eyebrows, what would you call it earlier, Frankie?
Just the brow shot.
I think
Yeah, we're sharing a mic, so we look like a duet.
well, you sound great together, actually. So I kind of like it. So,
Captain and Tennille.
you
Ready, Joe?
Well-
Game. Bird.
Bird.
dog.
Frog.
Oh my God. Okay. Is it time to close up shop yet?
And we're out.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
You haven't had your first beer yet. Here we go already. So, but our listening audience, I mean, we're very excited to have our supporters and sponsors of our show, Lot Insurance Services, and they do everything that we don't do. So
And I'm so glad.
yeah, we're glad they're not competitors.
Likewise.
So, we do everything that protects your life and health and financial services, and LIS does what?
Property, casualty,
Commercial.
everything that doesn't involve your life or your health.
So they protect your buildings, your vehicles, your things, your play pretties and toys and things of that nature.
Your
And
boats and you do airplanes?
We do. Not one of our specialties, but you mentioned boats. Yes, we do love insuring boats.
that's fantastic. So we're going to get a kind of brief overview. I have some questions that are searing in my little mind that I want to ask them, but why don't you guys give our audience an overview of what you do, how long you've been in business, and all that good stuff.
We opened the doors January 2006. Joe and I have been partners ever since. It's a wonderful world. I'm not going to lie. We enjoy every minute of it. Getting to spend quality time with my brother every day is something else. I can't believe it's been this many years, huh, buddy? And we have another baby brother who's actually on his way to the airport right now. So we're both like coming out of our skin because he's bringing our 14-month-old niece, who we get to see again. We just met for the first time because of stupid COVID.
Wow,
So,
that's great.
Yeah, we're very excited. It's going to be a really good day.
Where's he coming in from?
That would be Shreveport.
Shreveport. All right.
That
Fantastic.
is in Louisiana for you non-Louisiana people.
Oh, it's not from New York.
No.
Shreveport. No, there may be a Shreveport in New York. Who knows?
Shreveport, home of the casinos.
All right. What
And
else?
Terry Bradshaw is from.
That's
no,
right.
is he really?
Yeah.
From Shreveport.
Come on.
Wow.
Pittsburgh Steeler fan, and you didn't know that.
Didn't know he's
Yeah.
from Shreveport.
He's
Well,
a
way to go,
Louisiana
Terry
boy.
Bradshaw.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, as Frankie said, yes, with 16 years, we really enjoy just we work for our customers, and we love talking with them, and we're 24-hour service. We do have after hours. You call, we will call you back. That's one of our biggest things. Again, one of our biggest also is we always will answer the phone at the agency 9 to 5. We will never have an answering service. Like most people do not like those. I know when I call places, you touch 2 for 10 times and you can't get anybody. So you're not going to have that problem at Lot Insurance. I can tell you that. So we pride ourselves in that as a family agency.
So that's Joe Lott, everybody. So Joe's word is the gospel. If he says you call him at 24 hours a day, I expect you to take out your pens, your paper, jot his phone number down, and try it. Whether it's midnight, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning,
setting
you
my
got a question
notes.
about your rates, call Joe Lott.
Yes. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you too. I'd love to talk to you at 2 a.m. It'd be a very interesting conversation. I can tell you that. So, but no, again, we are like, if you, Frankie and I, again, you call us on the weekend, our answering service will answer, leave a message. We will call you back. Cause look, it's very nerve wracking when you have a claim over the weekend and your house has, and 2 inches of water throughout it. You want to talk to your agent. So we're there for you. That's what we pride ourselves on. We're going to be there for you and then help you work through those situations. So,
And Joe, I'm sure you've never, ever had a phone call that said, help, water is flowing over my house. I have a flood. What do I do? I'm sure you've never had those phone calls.
no, we've never. Frankie can tell you, no, we do. But the thing is, that's the thing is we'll walk you through it. We'll call the company, set up the claim, just make you feel comfortable, because again, your house is your biggest investment that you have. I mean, and it's not fun to have that happen to you. So But look, insurance is not always the most fun thing. You guys probably can, Gary and Tom, you guys realize, people always say it's expensive and I don't get anything out of it. Well, that's what it's for. Is you're, at that claim, and when you call and you have a $50,000 water loss or a lightning hit the house and it's a fire or 20, that's what insurance is for, and it will help you guys out. So just to make you understand that.
So okay, right now we see. I was just listening on the news coming in, Fox News this morning, about some places in the country are stopping and suspending building because of the supplies and the raw materials are too cost prohibitive, and it's not worth to build homes anymore. So the cost of supplies are going up. We see that. And in addition to cost of raw materials going up, so is raw homeowners insurance. I mean, that's going up considerably.
It is. It is. I do want to reiterate, Joe touched on it, but we work for our clients. We don't work for companies, just as you guys do.
Right.
Our clients are our bread and butter, not our companies. Do we represent wonderful carriers? Of course we do. But please keep in mind, as an independent agency, we're there to find a good fit for all of your needs throughout every renewal for years to come. A couple things I do want to talk about today, just to mention so we can get to them later, is flood insurance. We're literally moments away from hurricane season starting. So I'd like to touch on that a little bit. And homeowner rates, why we're in the situation we are in now. And Joe's going to give you some statistics later on just the unbelievable amounts of money that have been put out in these last 24, 36 months. It's mind-blowing. It really is. Florida is a different bird. It's a different breed. Something about this state brings a tremendous amount of claim activity that makes up literally almost half the other nation. I mean, we outweigh so many other metropolitans, large cities, you name it. Look at the Florida numbers compared to the entire Eastern Seaboard. It's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
So Frankie, you're saying that the premium increases are occurring really more so in Florida than in the rest of the country?
Nationally, they're experiencing it, but we're experiencing it tenfold.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
And we're the reason for the claims
Right.
or the premiums going up because so many claims are in Florida.
Well, and while we're on that subject, I'll give you a statistic. Just in, we had, obviously, as you know, the pandemic last year. So people were home all the time. Just in, this is actually an article from the Wall Street Journal, if anybody ever reads that. But in 2019, they had just in homeowners claims in the state of Florida, $664 million in losses. Okay, that was 19. So in 2020, during the whole everything, there was $1.5 billion in homeowner claims. Those are just homes. That's not commercial. These are homes. These are, it's tracked by, they have people that track these numbers. And that was, so think about the 664 million and then up to $1.5 billion in 1 year in claims on homeowners. That's not your litigation from liability claims and all the other things that happen in Florida. So
Related to what, Joe?
So that's just, again, like Frankie said, there's more than just hurricane. We've seen the roof claims are humongous in Florida because everybody's getting to the life expectancy of their roof. They're in the legislature just passed a bill because there's a lot of people going door to door knocking, say they can get your roof free with your insurance carrier. Well, if you don't need a new roof, you shouldn't go ahead and just take it through the insurance carrier. But there was some situations with that, Gary, that weren't being honest, I should say.
So you're saying there's unscrupulous people in Florida?
That's all over the country, but this, look, again,
Especially in Shreveport.
Yes.
we want people to, to use their insurance for what it's for and not take advantage of the system. So this is I just want to, it's letting people know, like, this is why the rates are going up. It's not because the companies are just saying we're just doing it to be, make our customers upset. We have to, because as you just said, Gary, they're stopped construction. Construction costs has tripled in prices as to you. So they want to be prepared for their clients and our clients that we can compensate people the way they should be compensated at a time of a claim. So that's the big thing.
All right. So we're going to take our first break and we're going to come back and we're going to talk to Frankie and Joe Lott here at Lott Insurance Services. A lot of great information here this morning. And you're listening to the world famous Class Act Quality of Life radio show. Gary Owen and Tom the Bouvier on WSTU 1450, America's Heritage Station, and WPSL 1590. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Quality of Life radio show. And by the way, we really appreciate having Lot Insurance Services, or one of our sponsors, on the show. And I always say trust them for all of your home, auto, boat, business insurance needs. If you're looking to save a lot, you got to call the Lot Brothers. They're located on US 1 north of Midway Road in St. Lucie County. And by the way, we have the Lot Brothers themselves in person here in the studio, and they're talking to us about claims and why the premiums have gone up exponentially, and why we, why we can't go for that second scoop of ice cream because we got to pay our insurance premium. So go ahead, Frankie.
I'm just going to take the first 10 seconds about that. If you don't want to pay a lot, we'll just run that as an ad over and over. Who is that guy? That's Gary.
Hey, I'm coming to work for you people.
I want to touch on the roof issue too. Speaking of Florida being a rare bird, a whole different type of breed when it comes to the nation. 30-year life expectancy shingles is just like saying I'm getting a 50,000-mile tire. It really depends on how you drive if you're going to really get 50,000 miles out of that tire. If you go 30 miles an hour in a straight line for 50,000 miles, chances are you're going to get the life expectancy of that tire. But when you live in South Florida, and I just took some quick notes, a 30-year life expectancy architectural shingle roof in Florida under best conditions is 15 years, hands down. And I know people are like, I bought a 30-year shingle. You did. I agree. That's exactly what you invested in. But did you take into consideration how many days were over 90 degrees, how the humidity affects that, how many tropical storms we have, the moisture and the salt, the amount of salt? Just because you don't live 4 or 5 miles from the ocean doesn't mean that you're not having wear and tear from salinity. It's a big issue right now. It's a tremendous problem.
That's a good point. And what about trees? I mean, a lot of people have trees touching their roofs. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and you have growth, but mold, mildew. That takes a tremendous amount of granular loss off of that shingle roof.
Right.
So, and here's the thing: we're now looking at 05, 06 roofs. Their life expectancy has now been met, and we're only talking 4 or 5 years from that date that concrete, tile, and metal roofs will start coming into consideration as what's the life expectancy of those roofs. And these are 50-year expectancy. So
That's amazing.
it is. It really is. I hate to say this, and I know people don't want to hear this out there, but a roof is just like an air condition or just like a water heater. You got to replace it. You're not going to go a day without air conditioning. You really shouldn't go too much longer with that roof that's already met its life expectancy.
And to your point, Frankie, Kathy's son, Gary, who
Mhm.
called you guys. We referred you to her son.
Yeah. Thank you,
And-
Kathy.
Yeah, thank you, Kathy. Kathy always looking out for you guys, as well as Tom. I think Kathy more so than Tom, but anyway.
But I bring them Tosca.
Oh my God, it's still in
I've
the
got
freezer.
I know. Stop by the office. There's a pack of. It says Gary, but just ignore that.
All right, I'm taking
He
it
doesn't
with
like.
me.
He doesn't appreciate.
I'm
my
taking it with
gifts,
me to
yes.
Tampa today. That's all I'm
Okay.
going to tell you. So, but anyway, great job, because Gary unfortunately got dropped by his previous insurance carrier, and they didn't want to help him, and he got a new roof, and I went to you guys, and you guys took great care of him. So they specifically wanted me to say thank you and give you guys a shout out. on the
Thank you
radio.
very much, guys.
Thank you guys for looking out for them. But that's what we do, right? I mean, as you said,
Yeah.
we are independent agent. I mean, Tom and I are both independent agency owners. You're independent agency owners, you and Joe. And it's our job, it's our mission to always do what's right for our client, not what's good for the carrier, but what's good for our client 100% of the time.
Absolutely.
Bingo.
And the second the second favorite thing that I like to hear when my phone rings is, number one is I'm turning 65 next week. I need a Medicare plan. But the second best
I need
thing
it tomorrow.
yeah, exactly. That's like top of the list.
I had that one yesterday.
Oh, sweet. Now the second best thing is I need a quote on my roof or my car. And I said, I got just the person for you. No, I do. It's just ever since we connected, I've really appreciated sending people to you guys, and as well as you've sent health insurance, leads and referrals to us as well. So we're a good partnership.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
It is. It's a great symbiotic relationship and collaboration. And, we've been here on the Treasure Coast for many, many years, as well as you guys have as well. And so you establish trust. You establish that trust and credibility and likability, right? People do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. At the end of the day, that's what those are the three core competencies. But I know Joe and Frankie have they've got a lot more information to share too before we start yakking at the mouth.
Something else I want to touch on is flood insurance. Now, if it's coming close to hurricane season, well, literally a couple of days. If you're not carrying flood insurance because the bank said you didn't have to carry flood insurance, and you're not in a flood zone per se, please take into consideration everyone's in a flood zone. You're just in a 100-year floodplain. Being in a zone X doesn't mean that you will never sustain a flood claim or flood damage. But flood insurance is very affordable. It's it's something that we definitely recommend all of our clients carry. And believe me, everyone has their opinion about flood insurance, but look at a lot of people throughout Baton Rouge and off
Denham
of I-10,
Springs.
Denham
Oh.
Springs.
My sister lives there. Yeah.
Same thing. My cousin in a zone X, which means 100-year floodplain.
They dropped
Carried
their
flood insurance
Yeah.
for many, many years. Never in a million years did he think he was going to have a flood claim. And not only was it a flood claim, I mean, he had 18 inches throughout his entire home. Every stitch of furniture, clothes, all his belongings were destroyed. Flood is like the worst type of claim. I hate to say it, because fire, there's nothing left. Although it's devastating, and you go to a flood claim, and Joe and I have experienced a lot of water claims where, the refrigerator ice maker breaks. Granted, that's not a flood insurance claim, but when all your belongings are destroyed and you can see them and you're carrying them out to this road, photo albums, things that you've collected through many, many years of marriage and children, it's very hurt. I mean, it hurts bad.
Sure.
It's tough. So we want to recommend, give us a call. We'll be happy to quote your flood insurance, give you an indication of, what the National Weather is looking at this year. I haven't seen the latest. Have you?
No, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch.
Well, we're hoping for a quiet season, but you never know.
Well, we already had one out there already.
Yes.
So that's not good. That's not a good sign before hurricane season officially starts.
Yeah, I'm just going to touch on what Frankie said about the flood. Again, just call us because it is inexpensive. I know everybody right now in the economy is very, cautious with their money, but not everybody has, $150,000 in the bank to pay for a flood claim. So think about it. You spend $500 to $600 on flood insurance. you know, God forbid we have a flood, you know, a storm this year, that'll weigh itself out, you know, that 150,000 versus $500, you know, ahead of the game. So just think about that while you're looking through. Believe me, and we're very, again, it's been a hard year for a lot of people. We're very sympathetic for that, and we hope that everybody can get back to normal. And I see some great things happening here in the Treasure Coast.
Thank God, and thank God for the governor opening up Florida before any other state.
Here, here.
And Joe, how do they get a hold of you? They've got questions. They want to check you out on the website. How do they get a hold of you guys?
All right. So they can always call us at 772-468-1009. Or like everybody does in the world, they always Google Lot Insurance Service. It pops up. It's one of the first ones on there. And then our website is
www.lottins.com. So that's LOTTINS.com. Keep it simple.
Yeah, they add 2 T's on the lot for double savings.
There's another one we're going to steal, Joe.
I'm going to start charging for my marketing services. That's all I can tell you.
Totally terrific.
What do you call it? The tangling something. Did I say do?
Or y'all can go to Joe's Tinder account.
Hey, Joe, what's that handle?
no.
All right. So, and by the way, you can also go in to their office. They're conveniently located right on US 1, just next to the wonderful Dunkin' Donuts, north of Midway Road. So it's very easy to find. And I popped in the other day. Frankie wasn't working. He was out sailing with Tom. But Joe and I are working. So I got to say hi to Joe, and I gave him some referrals, some chocolates and flowers, and it was a nice bromance day that we had.
And I heard a shout out too. Everybody was on the phone. Joe said, Gary walked in and goes, Joe, have a great day.
Everybody looking at me like, who in the heck is this guy? All right. So, Tom, we've got some interesting news. And by the way, we'll come back and we'll say hi to our friends here back before we leave. But we have some interesting news. There's 2 bits of information, and both of them, by the way, are in Florida. And then we're going to talk about health facts. There's 3 quick little health facts I'd like to give also on the show, because this show truly is about your quality of health and life. So, Tom, talk to us about this Florida man who had both of his vehicles break down. He's at the end of his wits, end of his bank account, and he's about to commit Harry Carey. What happens?
Well, this fortunate man wins $1 million in a scratch off after both he and his wife's vehicles totally go kaput. So a Florida man up in Jacksonville said his $1 million lottery prize came at the end of a string of bad luck that included his truck breaking down just 2 days after his wife's car broke down. Curtis Fuller, 38 of Jacksonville, told lottery officials he bought the 50X cash scratch off from the First Coast Energy in Jacksonville just days after he and his wife both found themselves without working vehicles. My wife's car broke down a few days ago, and 2 days after that, my truck broke down, Fuller said. Accent courtesy of Tom Bouvier. But the ticket ended up being $1 million winner. Fuller said one of the first things he will do with the money is to solve his family's vehicle woes and probably get a new roof on his house, too.
And Medicare supplement.
Yeah, what may we he's only 38. So
Well, we just get him a $500,000 life insurance policy.
Right, yeah, he needs some life insurance because his way of living is probably going to go up, or hopefully not far exceeding the $1 million. In addition to buying a new house, this money will help us purchase 2 new vehicles, he said. Hope he gets flood insurance.
What a great story.
It is.
I mean, people like that who really need it and down and out in their luck, and then all of a sudden, bam, $1 million, baby. What a way. I wish my day started out that way, but it didn't.
Well, it's got to start out with your car breaking down first, okay. And then Kathy's. Then you can go buy a scratch off.
All right, so Tom, you know what you got to do.
Yeah. Not in front of insurance agents. These guys are ethical over here.
we're not talking about ethical, you know, we're talking about mechanical here.
Oh, that's right.
Mechanical.
Mechanical.
Also, so the second story, so this is near and dear to my heart, being a former deputy sheriff. Nearly naked Florida woman leads troopers on a high-speed chase. I don't know what it is. When people take their clothes off, they seem to do crazy things subsequent from taking their clothes off. But this woman was arrested in Florida on Saturday for allegedly leading law enforcement agencies on a high-speed chase through several counties. And she was wearing slightly more than just a smile. The high-speed chase began Saturday morning when state troopers responded to a stolen vehicle in Gilchrist County, which is just near Gainesville, west of Gainesville. The woman driving the car, later identified as Rachel Lynn Stefanik, 24, of Plant City, took off on southbound I-75 through Sumter County. One trooper eventually spotted Stefanik driving the stolen 2009 Caddy sedan through Hernando County. She's really hitting those counties naked on I-75. She wants as many people to see her all natural driving skills. As the trooper attempted to pull the car over, she then took the car up to 110 miles per hour on a wild, closeless multi-county chase. The sedan eventually made its way to State Route 52, where Mike lives up in Pasco County. Maybe Mike saw this go down in front of his home before it was stopped with a pursuit. It's called a pit maneuver, which is a pursuit intervention technique maneuver. Those are really fun. And Stefanik was detained at that point, unclothed for most of the part. Rachel Stefanik was immediately taken into custody and arrested for grand theft auto, reckless driving, fleeing and eluding, possession of methamphetamine, and driving while license suspended. She was later delivered to the jail.
Make sure their clothes fall off and steal cars.
So
what was it, Gary? Flip flops and a Band-Aid?
Flip flops and a. Well, I haven't seen the pictures yet. They haven't released them. All I can see is obscurity. But anyway, pretty cool stuff that happens here in Florida. So not only do your rates go up, but this is probably one of the reasons why rates go up, because people like that driving crazy on I-75, 95, and throughout Florida. Tom, we've got some interesting health facts. You read the first two. I'll read the third one because I'll have a problem with the third one.
Okay, great. Humans have 46 chromosomes, while peas have 14, and crawfish have 200.
Wait a minute. How many did... crawfish,
Louisiana crawfish,
the Louisiana crawfish.
500. This is just Chinese crawfish.
Is that why they taste so well?
Absolutely.
More chromosomes.
More chromosomes, the better. The nose knows. It can remember 50,000 different scents. I've been around the world and I can remember some bad scents.
I wonder.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Oh yeah, on Bourbon Street after midnight.
Oh boy,
yeah, or 8 o'clock when the sun comes up.
Yeah,
brutal. I remember those times. And then the third one, although bodies stop growing, noses and ears will not. God have mercy on me. And of course, I think the nose and the ear hairs continue to grow.
Our ears actually continue to grow?
The ears and the nose, yes, absolutely.
Be looking like Dumbo.
That's exactly right. I'll
turn around and see my ears.
We'll be hitting each other by the ears. Hey, let me get by you.
They just ordered some new headphones for you too.
Thank you.
Perfect. That's
feeling
perfect.
tight.
All right, we're having so much fun. It's already time for our second commercial. So you're listening to the Quality of Life radio show, and we're having fun in the studio this Tuesday morning, as you can tell. But we're going to bring some really interesting news coming back from the break. Tom and I are going to share some information about insurance solutions. And you're listening to the Quality of Life radio show, WSTU 1450. And WPSL 1590. Go ahead, go take a quick tinkle, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to the Quality of Life radio show. By the way, I want to also give a big shout out and a thank you to another one of our sponsors on our show, WellMed Medical. You know that a good primary care physician is always in great demand. And so many currently of you out there don't have a primary care provider or primary care physician. So go check out WellMed Medical for all of your primary care needs. And there are 4 convenient locations right here in the Treasure Coast, and they're all scattered throughout Florida and many other states throughout the country. So we appreciate WellMed Medical as one of our sponsors as well. So Tom, I'll go first because I have 2 stories to kind of share with our listening audience that will help them maybe clarify some things about Medicare and about prescription drug plans. So thankfully, there was this lady came in yesterday, a very nice lady. Her name's Sherry from Stewart, and her husband is turning 65 next month. And like so many people who are inundated with phone calls, unsolicited phone calls, their mailbox being full of stuff and solicitations, and they're obviously confused and don't know what to do. They thought it was mandatory to sign up for a prescription drug or for a Medicare plan, and didn't know really where to turn to, and she was confused. So kind of went through my spiel about education and what the 4 parts of Medicare are, how it applies to her husband who's turning 65 next month. They have to have Medicare Parts A and B already. So since he was not taking Social Security, obviously he is not going to get and receive his Medicare Part A and B in the mail. So you have to apply for Medicare Part B. And it's important because if you don't, Tom, they're going to have a big what to pay.
There can be late enrollment penalties.
That's right.
Up the wazoo, and those
That's
will
right.
go on forever.
So
until you pass.
So it's important that you talk to us at Owen Insurance Group, who can give you some guidance and some counsel and some help and direction. And that is what we do. We educate. And it's important that you know your options, because there's a lot of options out there. And then once you have your Medicare A and B card in hand, then you now basically stand at the crossroads. You stand at the crossroads of choosing between a supplement plan and a Medicare Advantage plan. And this is what we do. We take the time to spend with you to show you the options, the pros and cons of each, and how if you choose the wrong plan, how it can have lasting ramifications. So this is what we do.
And one thing we do recommend for everyone listening out there, people will think, well, I'm going to wait till I turn 65 before I give you a call. We say we would really love to talk to you when you're 62, 63, 64.
Correct.
Because leading up to that,
point.
you have a lot of decisions to make. Number one, about Social Security, and that's many people, those 2 things are on their mind, Social Security and Medicare all together. And so going into age 64, especially, you're going to start getting those mailbox, there's flyers, calls, knocks on the door, etc. And it can be very confusing, and it can add a lot of stress. And people think, Medicare should be simple. And well, it is for us, and we help make it simple for you. We simplify that insurance planning. And so let us talk to you when you're 63, 64, so that you're not surprised. You can move into it peacefully without all the stress, because we deal with a lot of people waiting till the last minute.
That's right.
Trying to apply for their Medicare Part A and B or Part B if they're retiring. And we've seen a lot of great things happen, but a lot of bad things happen because people waited too long.
And we'll help you. I mean, if you obviously many don't want to sit on the phone and wait for an hour to talk to somebody, or obviously I don't think the Social Security offices are even open yet. Hopefully that's going to happen soon. But Tom and I will be more than happy to take you to the website or help you enroll. We can do this online. We could do a Zoom call or something. So we'll walk you through it. It's a very easy step. So if you need to sign up for Medicare Parts A and B without signing up for Social Security, we know the link to go to make sure that you're not signing up simultaneously for Social Security in addition to your Part A and B. You don't want to do that because most people are still working. They're still generating revenue and income, so they don't need to be hit with that extra income or tax liability on your Social Security. Now, second thing that happened, a lady came in, spoke to Kathy about her prescription drug list. Seems, I don't know, Tom, about you, but it seems like the agency and myself, it seems like most of our agents are getting inundated with a lot of questions on prescription drug plans. And it seems that they've, like homeowners insurance, the prescription drugs have just increased exponentially, and the cost is become so cost prohibitive for so many people. And this lady is looking at a couple $1,000s a month to spend on prescription drug plans.
Ouch.
So, and she was looking at a premium that was, the least expensive premium, which which company that is, for $7 or $8 a month, right? And because she had tier 4, 3, 4, and 5 specialty brand drugs, that was not going to work for her. And whoever she spoke to didn't give her the right information. So when we ran her formulary, it showed that she needs to spend $200 and some odd dollars, or $205 a month for a drug plan, which is ridiculous amount of money for a drug plan. But you know what? It reduced her drug copays and cost by more than 50% by going on that higher drug plan. And I think people have a misconception that we're going to get paid more because we're trying to put people on a higher, different drug plan than what was initially recommended by someone who didn't know what the H they were talking about. And by the way, we get paid the same $39 bloody commission, whether we sell you a $7 drug plan or a $5,000 a month drug plan. So we make
Medicare
nothing,
caps it,
right? We don't
Telling
make
you.
any money. But again, right? We're not in it for the money. We're in it to make sure that we take care of our clients, because if we do what's right for our clients, we hope that those clients will refer us to their friends, their family, their neighbors, and again, establishing that trust and credibility in the community.
Absolutely. And as Gary's saying, some of my worst phone calls, I shouldn't say worst, but calls where people are just really freaking out is about their drug cost. It's very complex, and even for us as agents, it can be the most time consuming. And as Gary just said,
time consuming.
And in reality, it's the least compensated part. And these rates, commissions are set by Medicare. So we're not getting paid any more or less. We're just trying to find the best plan for an individual. And we have to figure out the deductibles, the monthly premium, the co-pays, the different phases of Medicare, drug Part D plans. And it is all kind of complicated, even for agents, especially in the new agents coming on. But we've done it thousands of times, so we can really steer you right.
Yeah, and it's important that you work with a Medicare planning agency, right? Someone who specializes in Medicare planning. So obviously, if you are sick, you go to a doctor. If your faucet leaks, you go to a plumber, right? So if you need insurance, hopefully you'll come to Owen Insurance Group for life, health, and Medicare, and long-term care, annuities, accident, critical illness. There's so many things that we cover. We can protect your life and your quality of health with. And health insurance, Tom, I mean, you've been banging out. We've been really getting a lot of phone calls for health insurance due to the ARPA Act of 2021 that was signed into law back in March or April. And what does that do? I mean, what kind of effect does that have on families? I mean, we see it every day, and it's amazing what we're seeing.
We do. And the ARPA Act, it did two main things. Is it increased the tax credits or subsidies for individuals and families who get on a plan or already on a plan. And number two, it opened up the open enrollment till August 15th. So anyone under 65, you're not getting health insurance through an employer. You could actually give us a call. We'll run some free quotes, email them to you, talk you through it, and see if you can get on either a better plan or the plan you're on. If you want to stay on it, we can rerun it and lower your monthly premium. So that's been very good for a lot of people.
It's amazing. If people don't realize, I think there's a lot of misconception out there that health insurance premiums are too cost prohibitive. And then you see these commercials on TV. I mean, just running incessantly. Oh, we got the best health insurance plan. Call us for a free quote. And you look at the fine print, and what do they say? limited benefit plans. These are not comprehensive health insurance policies, people. So it's important that you work with an agency and the agents of that agency that have all this information. I mean, I'm not saying that that's a wrong plan for you. But it's not a one size fits all solution. So somebody who's who's 22 years of age, who has absolutely no pre-existing health conditions, who may not need prescription drug plans, a limited benefit plan may be a good fit for those types of people. If you're in your 50s and 60s and you've got pre-existing conditions and you need to take prescription drugs, I'm going to tell you right now, those are not the plan for you.
That's right. You want a plan that's going to accept you no matter what your pre-existing conditions were, as well as cover you for any reoccurring condition that you've had in the past and comes forth in the future.
And Tom, we spend a lot of time, energy, effort helping people, guide them to choose the right plan. We don't choose it for them. We give them their options and we guide them and we lead them to water like a horse. They just have to put their head down and bob for the apple.
That's
and
right.
Pick out the best, prettiest apple there is.
And like the Lot Insurance Services, we're independent brokers, meaning they don't just represent one insurance carrier, and neither do we. We represent many of them, so we can find the best fit for individuals.
And Tom, we still get asked this question. Well, how much do you charge?
Well, we need to make sure everyone's sitting down when we answer.
Stop the car.
Yeah. Our consultation fees are just astronomical. It's actually zero. People would give us a call. We give free consultation, no cost, no obligation consultations. Certainly if we find a plan for you and we help you get enrolled in that plan, we do get compensated from the insurance carriers.
And by the way, in addition to the Medicare planning solutions, and just remember, we know that people are working longer. So if you're turning 65, obviously you most likely, depending on your situation with your company and how many employees that company has, but you may not be required to sign up for Part B. So people are delaying their Part B enrollment until they retire. And that could be until they're 70 and 75. Heck, we just had someone who's 79, 80 years of age just retire from their employer and for the first time taking Part B. So these are the things that we can do to help you out with. And again, it's getting the right information. Does it make sense to stay on your group plan, or does it make sense to enroll in Medicare and pay that Part B premium? And Tom, said earlier, and this is absolutely the fact. When you're 63, 62, 60, especially if you're 63 years of age, your Medicare Part B premium is based on what your income was 2 years prior. So when you're 63. So when you're 63, should you start to be thinking about Medicare? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And you need to be talking to your CPA, because based on the tiers of your income is going to be based on what your Part B premium is going to be. So if you're 62, 63, there's got to be a couple out there in Florida who are 62 and 63 who might need some help.
Just
Tom.
a few.
Just a handful.
1,000 a day are moving here. So.
And we see it. We see it every single day. And lastly, I wanted to just real quickly touch on is, listen, we have seen the stock market just rumble on like a bull for many, many years. And when people are, and of course, we know that that bull gets tired after time and it's going to take some rest. And the bears come out of the woods. And so people who are nearing retirement, they have a 401k, they have a nest egg. You need to be prudent about how you invest that money as you get into your golden age, because you need that income to last you for life. So, Tom and I work with fixed indexed annuities. They're different than regular fixed annuities, but these fixed indexed annuities will protect your principal no matter what the stock market does. You won't lose your nest egg. So we think it's important that over time you've worked with a financial advisor who has built your nest egg. Now it's up to us to protect your nest egg from becoming scrambled eggs, right? So there are many types of annuities, many different types of companies. Some annuity carriers will have a long-term care rider to it, where once you start drawing money income from that annuity and it's life, you can never outlive that stream of income, which is very important. But also, God forbid, when the time comes where you can't meet 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, or the ADLs, and now you go on a long-term care claim. Now, some of these plans will give you double the income once you qualify for that long-term care situation. So these are the things that we do, Tom, and I know you've had some experiences in the last maybe 1 minute. Is there anything that you want to add?
Just give us a call if you have any questions about life insurance, Medicare, health insurance, dental insurance. We're here for you, give you great quotes, free consultation.
And speaking of Medicare, so Medicare supplement plans, we also are very, very happy to have with us as a sponsor, United Healthcare. So do you know that you can enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that includes access to our statewide provider network? So that's why it's time to take advantage of a plan from United Healthcare. With a United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan, you can get more for your Medicare dollar, including benefits like $0 copays for covered preventative dental services, $0 copays for lab services, and access to the United Healthcare Medicare National Network. Pretty cool. Talk to a licensed representative today about United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. And Tom, can we help people with United Healthcare Medicare Advantage?
Absolutely. We love United Healthcare. They have great products. Call us at 772-210-1020.
All right. Very good. Can you believe the show is over?
No.
It stinks. But so next week, our special guest on the show is going to be Chief Richard Stein. He's CEO of All Florida Investigations and Security Services. He loves handcuffs. So we're going to have the Lott brothers come back and we're going to show the proper handcuffing techniques. And Tom and I will continue providing valuable insurance planning solutions. We thank you for joining us this morning. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Please don't keep us a secret. Share us with your friends, your family, your neighbors. And remember, Treasure Coast, stay safe, keep healthy, be happy, and
enjoy your quality of life.
take care, everybody.
Goodbye.